Hello everybody, this is Bobby Mills for theindependent.com, back for another year of Endzone Online. As with tradition, we start with Grand Island Senior High future Hall of Fame coach Jeff Tomlin. Great to see you, man.
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks for having me again, and
always got to start.
Congratulations to you on Nebraska Sports Hall of Fame induction, and that's awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You'll be there someday.
Well, that remains to be seen, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now for sure.
Absolutely. I won't dare ask you how many years are left in the tank, because it looks like about 100 to me, man. So anyway.
Well, this is my 19th year here. It's my 36th overall of coaching, 34th of teaching, and I just quit wondering about that. I figured God will determine that.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I'm not in control.
You'll know, man.
Yeah, I'll know, and
we're glad you're here, though.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I feel great about it.
So tell me about your coaching staff, and I bet you some of them have been here. Is it safe to say you've got some dozen years?
Yes. You start with Russ Harvey's been with me all 19 years, going on 19 years. Phenomenal person, phenomenal coach. Absolutely a prince of a guy. And Jason Jones has been with me for well over a dozen years. Clint Cunningham for well over a dozen. Grant Boyer for well over a dozen. Man, it's getting up there. And then a lot of guys, Kyle Carter, Paul Cloutier, Jeff McQuinn, DJ Plouts, they've been with me going on 10, if not more than a decade. So most of our staff is a minimum of a decade together, which is a blessing for me. Great men, great mentors of kids. They work kids real well, and then continuity for me and our staff. And then we welcomed Steve Strand last year. He's one of our newer additions, and he's Bar Middle School staff, and he's done a great job for us as a volunteer. And then Jeff Evans comes to us this year. We were one short, and so we finally filled that. And he was 20 years in the Los Angeles area, coaching at Long Beach City College, and teaching at Banning High School. And he's an original Holdridge Duster back in the day, and so he's moving his family back home to Nebraska, and we're blessed to have him on our staff.
There's some different experience.
Yes, we've got some new blood, and we've got the old guard, so that's healthy.
I don't know how some people know how important that is to have a staff that you can depend on to know what to do. You don't have to delegate this or that. It's going to get done, and you know what each other's thinking. Wow. Well,
we play to each other's strengths. There's areas I'm pretty weak. So I've tried to surround myself, with guys that are, for example, technology. I'm not the best, but I've got some guys on my staff that are really, really good.
Sure.
And so we play to each other's strengths, and just see the need, fill the need. Everybody's kind of all for one for all, and whatever needs done, they just jump in and do it.
That's the way to have it, boy. It's a luxury.
It's a luxury. I'm truly blessed.
They all don't have that.
Yes. Yeah. I've been on those staffs of 3 or 4 guys, and you're trying to do 10 through 12 and maybe a 9th grade game. And I've been a JV coach by myself.
Oh, I know.
Calling OD, special teams, and trying to sub kids, and it was just the way we did it way back when.
That's
and
right.
I was blessed to do it. But now, I'm blessed with a larger staff, and it helps.
That's right. Class A program has to have it almost. Do you guys still have a younger football league, like from flag all the way up to?
We do. We do. Okay. And we lost last year due to COVID.
Absolutely.
But Jeremy Watson's done Shane Furneaux before Jeremy Watson, then Jeremy Watson's done an incredible job. So we'll have, I think, 10 to 12 total flag teams. We have I think the K2s, or the grade 1, 2, and then the 3, 4s.
Goodness.
And then we have 5th and 6th grade tackle.
Right.
And I think we'll have 4 or 5 teams of that. And they'll play each other, and then they'll play some local, just central Nebraska teams.
Really?
And get some experience there. So that's a really good, you got to have it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have it. And we wanted something where parents could stay right in central Nebraska, or right at home, not have to drive all over the place and invest a ton of money in food, hotels, all that type of things, when money's short a little bit for a lot of folks. So it's pretty economical, and Jeremy does a heck of a job, and he's got some great dads and community volunteers that are helping with the program.
Good. Jeremy is a prince.
Yes,
man.
he is.
Done a tremendous job. Do you still have those Saturday morning coaching meetings? I remember working here, and I'm thinking, you know, and there have been times when you played in Lincoln or Omaha where there's been losses. And I'm thinking, these guys are getting up early. And I wondered if some of them, you know, when you first got here, said, why do we have to do this on a Saturday morning? You have to.
Yeah,
you have to
really
address things the next day.
Yeah,
right?
you got to get right on it. Yeah, we still do. We love that stale coach's room coffee, Bob.
That's exactly right. It's still a
back. But yeah, we always get right at it at 6 a.m. on Saturday. There's laundry to be done.
Yep.
From the night before, and then there's film to grade. We try to grade our film before the kids come in.
Yep.
And get all our team goal boards figured out, and then we bring our kids in at 9, and mainly for training, for our trainers to be able to see them if they need treatment. We get them some breakfast. We give out our team awards, and then our varsity watches film. Our JVs do a walkthrough for Monday's JV game, so they're ready to go. But then by 10:30, they're out. They got the rest of the weekend
That's
to do what they
amazing.
will. And then my coaches will work a lot of the rest of Saturday. I'll usually try to kick them out at some point. Go home, be with your family, and see your kids' games. And then Sunday we'll reconvene and finalize our game plan at some point.
I didn't realize the kids came in and did all that. That's great.
The kids are tremendous. You know, great work ethic, and I think they bought into that's a real necessary process. And then Todd Goshorn and Carly Herkett, our trainers, they're right there with us, and they're intervening on things so the kids are ready to go on Monday instead of limping in Monday. Hey, this happened in the game on Friday. I've learned that the hard way. So we try to get them treatment right away.
Boy, that's great. I'm sure colleges do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Have for years.
Yeah. And there's different ways to skin a cat. You know, I've had really close coaching colleagues that we don't have them come in at all on the weekend, and I understand their coaches do.
Yeah.
But they give their kids that space, and they've been extremely successful. That's just always worked for me.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
I think it's worked well for us.
Probably didn't do it at Alliance or O'Neill, either one.
No, I did it at Alliance, but I didn't have the breakfast. You know,
that's pretty cool though.
But our parents, our touchdown club parents, they are troopers, and they bring in donuts or sometimes a breakfast burrito for those kids and some milk, and so they got some nutrition, and they're getting the football too. And even the ranch kids made her in Alliance, and then some of them that's driving 30-40 miles one way.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so God bless those kids, and I haven't forgot any of them.
I bet you haven't. Yep. I wonder if a 1,000-yard guy could ever get invited to one of those Saturday things.
Absolutely. No. I think so. We'll have a donut. We'll have a couple donuts right there for you.
I've never been that way, so I'd love to be there. But what's the GI offense? Well, first I better ask you this: what are you involved with as far as position coaching this year?
I coach the corners.
Okay.
Yeah, I've coached. In my career, I've coached defensive line, middle linebackers, outside linebackers, and now secondary. So I've coached all the levels of the defense, and I'm the assistant O-line guy. So I'll help with the younger O-line. Clint Cunningham's an unbelievable offensive line coach, and I'll help with the young guys. And then I'm still coordinating the defense.
Great. Mm-hmm. And you made All-State as a running back, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I did. It was, I was a running back. Maybe it was running back, or maybe it was for defensive back.
Could be, but you know the game inside and out. So I just figured you were. But this guy's one of the best offensive line coaches in the state, so I hope you're still involved with that.
Yeah, I got my hands with the young guys, which is really fun, and getting them the basics so I can get them up to Coach Cunningham, and they're ready to go.
There you go. What's the offense look like this year, personnel-wise?
You know, I think we've got a lot of returning experience in the skill positions. Kighton Fife returns at quarterback. Cohen Evans backs him up, and he could start for a lot of teams, to be honest with you. Aiden McDermott and Jace Chrisman and Ariel Hernandez all got carries last year.
Yeah, they sure
you know,
did.
Jace returned, had the most carries of those three, but they all kind of by committee got some carries. Brandon Fox, Dylan Sextro, Cole Bauer, Will Knuth, all had time at receiver. Yeah. So in the skill positions, we are experience. In the offensive line, we have 0
Okay, that's
starting
what I was wondering,
experience.
yeah.
So offensive and defensive lines, no starting experience. They're all going to be new. But linebacking core secondary, we have a number of returning starters.
Good.
So we do have some good veteran, and I have a lot of confidence in our offensive line kids and our defensive line kids that they're going to step up and do the job, and they're working awful hard.
Well, that's all you can ask.
That's all you can ask.
And what about the lower programs? Did they have pretty good records in offensive line success last year?
You know,
I know there's a big difference, but
yeah, there is. We ended up, we struggled a little bit JV wise, not due to lack of effort, just lost some close games.
Yeah.
But we're kind of more junior dominated last year, so you know, it's one of those weird years where your reserves would play a lot of that. 75% of your sophomores would be your JV team.
That's right.
And they turn around on Tuesday and play a reserve game. And so a lot of those times, a lot of those kids were playing back-to-back nights, and not all of them, but some of them, and so they got some great development. And then the lifting and conditioning programs, winter, spring, summer. Now some of those kids have transformed themselves into something way better. Yeah.
And that usually happens in the Islander program all this summer.
Yeah, you know, our kids work extremely hard, and Coach Doyle does a great job for us upstairs as it is our strength coach.
Who is that now?
Patrick Doyle.
Okay,
is our new strength coach.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
he's
good.
done a tremendous job.
So, you know, over the years, you came here in what, 2003? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to me, that's a mulligan your first year here. And when you took over, I don't, you know, I'm not going to pull any punches. The program wasn't in terrific shape. But there was a gap between the great Kenny Fisher and the great Jeff Tomlin. So there was a space there. And the only time this program has missed a playoff would be that first year and then 2012. Otherwise, bang, straight through, man.
Yes.
So I wrote down these numbers, and you can tell me if they're right. You know, since you've been here, 120 wins and 59 losses. Does that sound right? I'm throwing out last year.
Pretty darn close. Yeah, I mean, you're
come on, you know.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell you.
I mean, what games counted and which games didn't.
Sure.
I mean, it was like 2-4 is your record, and you win a playoff. Come on. But since 2011, I have 73 and 26.
Sounds
That's pretty
close.
doggone good. That means every time this guy walks on the field, he wins 7 out of 10 times. And this is outstate Nebraska. We don't have kids transferring everywhere. What is a transfer at senior high? You don't even know what that is, do you?
Right, yeah.
And I'm football. Give me a break.
In my career here, we've probably gotten a handful
of
kids actually move in that helped us. And we've lost some that would have helped us, you know, but usually don't, you know, usually within city, once a young man declares, hey, we're going to be a Islander, or we're going to be a Crusader, we're going to be a Viking, there's very little movement in between schools, which I think is good. I mean, I think it's honorable that once you make a commitment, you stick by your school and stand by your colors, and I think that's great. And so, yeah, we don't get a lot of movement transfer-wise, and so, you know, we just take pride in developing what we get.
Aren't you glad you don't have to fight that? And it exists somewhere else, but I'm just so glad for you and all the other coaches. This doesn't have to be one of the concerns.
Right, and that's there's enough concerns as it is. We don't really have to deal with that a whole lot, and that's really, I'm really grateful for that.
Good. You've accomplished a lot here since you've been here. It's obvious. What are some of the things that you're especially proud of over the years in building? I mean, the Hall of Fame is one of them.
Yeah.
There wasn't a Hall of Fame here until you started it. This building is another great thing. But as far as football goes, what would you say?
You know, the weird thing is somebody asked me that just last month.
And I don't normally ask questions like that.
What are you most proud of since you've been coach at senior high? And I've been proud of a lot of things. I've coached a lot of great kids, and I've coached with a lot of outstanding men that have made me better. But everybody probably remembers the Twisters up in Wisner, Pilger, and you know, we loaded up I think 5 vans of kids, cargo vans, and went up there and helped a family for a day and a half. And when I look back on it, you know, I told that person, I'm most proud of that because that speaks to what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to develop young men of honor, courage, commitment, and loyalty that are going to be great citizens, dads, husbands, and it's more than the game. So I'm most proud of the gains that we've made with character.
That's
kids.
exactly right.
Yeah, that's what I'm most proud of.
That's a great thing to be proud of. Wisner Pill. There's some people in Grand Island that doesn't even know there was a tornado up there.
Right.
And there's some people from Wisner Pilger that wondered why is Grand Island here, but we're glad they are. That's amazing that happened.
Yeah, and anytime I call on our kids, whether a teacher needs help moving, our kids step up and help them, or we need help at a youth camp, or then we need to read at an elementary school or whatever. Our kids always step up to the plate and try to serve their community, and we're not perfect. Nobody is,
Nope.
but I am proud of our commitment to being intentional about trying to develop young men.
Yep, and that's where it shows is something like that. So.
Absolutely, and I guess the second thing would be our consistency.
Yeah.
We've been consistent. I mean, because anybody can do it for 1 or 2 years, but
That's
can
right.
you do it over the long haul? And that's a testimony to our continuity of our staff and our tough kids.
So, I guess the last question, and I omitted it, and how many kids from do you count freshmen?
Well, I
mean,
kind of count them in our total numbers,
Yeah,
but
total.
I've got a good I got a dividing line there.
So how many kids do you have out for football that played last year?
That played last
I mean,
year.
is it 100? What number is good for
9
Jeff
through
Tomlin?
12. I'd always shoot for, I always think in Class A,
Yeah.
it's that 30 mark for your senior class.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
we've hit that a couple times since I've been here, but only twice.
That's hard.
It's really hard.
Difficult.
But I think you need that senior dominance, and then that takes the pressure off your JVs to be helping varsity. And right now we're carrying, I think, 86, 10 through 12, and we've got a good freshman crop so far. We're
Good.
right about 54, 55 freshmen.
That's good.
And we held that number all through the summer workouts, which was
No,
sometimes
that-
you start with that at
Yeah.
camp, and then by the season it's 42.
I know.
But we've held that number.
Good.
Through the first 2 days of practice, and they're excited, and a lot of that's Coach Ramsey. Kip Ramsey's our head freshman coach, and
He's full of, he just,
Mike Lynn, and Kip's another one's been with me all 19 years.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I can always
phenomenal
remember.
person and great coach.
and bubbly, and the kids love him. and
Absolutely.
He'll keep him coming, that's for
Well,
sure.
he gives them a great experience, and
Well,
he coaches them like they're his sons.
I know it.
And that's pretty cool.
So what do you think of here, the last question I said was before, but what do you think is this new facility? It's unbelievable to see this. I've only been here twice outside. I couldn't believe what I saw.
It's incredible. We're very grateful that we get to come in daily to this facility and watch film in this room, with our kids and dress in the locker room. We get it and play in the stadium. So we're just blessed that the Martin family and all the other, the Marshall family, all the other major donors that contributed to this project felt compelled to do so.
I know.
And kids win in the end. It's a win
that's
for our
it.
whole community. So we're just thrilled.
But, oh yeah, who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
But I asked you last year at the beginning of the year, did you ever get to run out of that locker room and through the gates last year?
We never did. But I'm still in the same office.
Oh,
Yeah,
my wife wanted to know
that was Coach Fisher's office and Coach Kropp. I think
Oh.
they might have shared it one time, and it was Coach Ermacher's and Coach Farron's. And I mean, it's been passed down, and I think that desk is the same desk. And I'm a big history guy, and I love the history of that room, and it's a good fit for me. It's like a glove.
Well, I know.
And so we do a lot of our game planning stuff still over there. Not because this isn't fantastic. It's just we're kind of tradition
Well, I
guys.
know. That's right.
And one of these days we'll probably try out that north gate again somehow.
Oh, I hope
somehow,
so.
some way. Yeah.
You don't want to make anybody mad, but just let's have a whatever they call it, retro night
Yeah,
or
there you
something
go.
or
There you go.
whatever. And we just
Step back in time.
Want to run
Yep.
through one time. So Great, man.
Thank you, sir.
Looking forward to the opener.
Appreciate
You got two road games to start.
Two road
Kearney
games
and
to start.
Pius.
Yes, yeah, very challenging, and we're looking forward to it. It's
And
gonna be a
first
lot of
home
fun.
game is
Lincoln Southeast.
on the
Week 3.
Week 3?
Week 3, and then Fremont home week 4.
There you go, man. Get out and support this program because it's going to be a good one this year. So, Jeff, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bobby. I
All
appreciate
right.
it. It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to start here. From McKenna behind the camera, this is Bobby Mills saying we'll see you next time on Endzone Online and our tour